We had tornadoes last night, so I'm glad I woke up to it. Yeah. Well, near it. About 8:30, I have a weather app and it was going ding ding. It makes this noise that means lightning. Lightning kills more people in Texas than even the winds blowing them away. But I went and looked in this incredible, it wasn't big, very intense bunch of, and at that point in the prior hour they'd had over 286 lightning strikes in that one storm, and it came towards us and it hit us about 1 o'clock and then it blew away, went away. But we didn't have, where I live, we didn't have the high winds.
Mm-hmm.
So we have lots of fun questions. What's going on in your world, Scott?
The Trump administration is ignoring all the damage and flooding and tornadoes in Wisconsin. No FEMA help coming.
Mm-hmm.
They still haven't paid up from last fall, giving them money from last fall, from the floodings that happened then, from the requests. So people are suffering from all these damages and not receiving funding.
Well, I did a reading for everybody for the week on with the garden, and the reason I chose to use the garden today, down in this corner, there's nothing's going on. Sorry, my name's on there, but I did. Jeffrey and I do our weeklies all at once. We do like 3 months at a time, and it's really interesting to see the patterns we get. And normally I don't get a lot of stones in the outer rings here. Everything's sort of more clumped towards the middle. And this is what we saw a lot yesterday. When things are out in the outer ring, that's the chakras, the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and, crown, and tree of life. And it was just amazing. The stones would all fall in the center, and they'd be very fear-based. You need to let go of your limitations. Come on, grow. Then everything would be out here, and you'd see all this wonderful, shiny stuff for the next week. But for the most part, this summer is going to be an absolute revelation for us about how we're going to feel. So I'm going to start with the body, which is in the root chakra. And it says connections. We're going to be connecting with security in a whole new form this week. In the sacral chakra, there's manifestation will come easily for us at this time. So that means manifest good stuff, guys. Work on the good stuff. And then in present, I have the spirit, and spiritual changes are happening right now. That means that they're available for you. You need to reach out. You need to touch them. You need to get in touch with it. Our mind is sitting between in the four directions. Our mind's sitting between the earth to the east and the air to the north. And to the east, this means that final thoughts are coming on this situation. And the air is saying your thoughts are all important. So this is what we kept seeing yesterday. Spiritual changes are happening all around us. It's a matter of us attuning our minds to it and getting ready for it. And the clarity said we're going to have a lot of paths put in front of us. We need to be careful in what we choose. And I cannot tell you enough, folks. Now is the time to work on getting your head clear and working on it. And I'm trying to get back to where I need to be. I'll figure this out. There I go. Yay! Now I'm back. What you got, Scott?
So to complement your garden throw, my first three cards are talking about a shift happening. Changes in the air. The universe is telling us we're going to be okay. The veil is lifting on this administration. It starts with the 10 of Cups, the happy family, the home, the comfort. 3 of Wands, the universe is speaking and reaching out to us. And the 2 of Coins. That's the information flow going back and forth. And then I get the Messenger card, the Page of Wands. we're going to be hearing a lot. The Seven of Swords, we're not going to believe the hype anymore. And the King of Wands, more intelligence is coming through. So it's like the universe is sending down these loving waves, and it's reaching the masses of what this propaganda machine in the White House is doing. And it's sinking in. Like the spirits are working overtime to wake up the MAGA types, right? So then I get in the outcome of King of Coins, Two of Swords, and Four of Coins. I think that I always was waiting for a sign, you know, to know the shift is going to happen. Things are going to happen soon. It happened last night. Felon 45, when he was getting rushed out, fell immediately, crash. He couldn't even, you know, get out of a chair and be rushed out. He got up, took a step, plop. I think that's our sign, because I was always waiting for a sign that some event that we would see something, and it's like, yeah, we know it's going to happen soon. It's going to be over. King of Coins, the Two of Swords, and the Four of Coins. Four of Coins is making me feel like, yeah, he's going to be locked up soon. And so, you know, he's how do you say it? Constricted. So things are moving in our direction. And the bottom of the deck, I got the Ten of Swords. The bad news coming. So I think it feels like a shift.
We're going to talk about the incident you're talking about. I want to know how many people could be walking around with guns like that and be such bad shots. And I grieve for the Secret Serviceman, and we pray for that person that was injured. But what do the cards think about the gun firing last night? The second I heard about it, I didn't even go look it up on my phone. I didn't do anything. I had just gotten off a beautiful spiritual show called Let the Light Shine, and it's a group of readers that get together once a month, and they all come on and say different things, and run by a lovely lady named Marlena who lives in Canada. And she invited me to be on the show after she was on Psychic Profiles, and we were talking about, one of the women was talking about how many people are passing over right now. How many people just run casually into, I mean, not looking for it. Like this morning, my daughter said that a woman friend of hers that she's in the U.S. Congress now, and in a way, my daughter and I had something to do with that. When we were working on Obama, this young woman who went to school with my daughter called and said, "How do you get involved in politics? I want to do this." She's now sitting in Congress.
Oh, nice.
She's in North Carolina. Her mother died last night, and apparently it was very sudden. Her mother was in her 80s, and the young woman's 48. Her mother had had a full career as a script writer, as a performer, and as a director of local theater. And she had a full and wonderful life. And in case that she wasn't sick, she just apparently went to the hospital, and that was it. Bye. So, but there's a lot of people passing across. Why can't someone find someone to help him pass over? I mean, this is, and the first thing I thought of when they said he was fired at last night, I asked my guides, which side was it? And my mental intuition is that it was someone from their side that wants him gone. He's not leaving nearly fast enough. I don't know why they want us to leave us in J.D. Vance's tender mercies, but I can do a card reading on it, but I'm going to use Life is Like a Board Game because this seemed perfectly appropriate for that. But I'm going to ask 5 cards. What do they think? Was this guy real? Was he like an outsider that came in to shoot him, or was it a setup from the inside?
So yeah, the shooter never made it into the ballroom, so
Yeah. Somebody's not taking care of Trump. Did I tell you that this week, Susan, my youngest, went down to the Stars Arena? They were having a appreciation thing for ticket holders, and she went down to meet them and shake their hands and talk to them and stuff. And she went in the restroom, and when she went in, it looked like a normal hallway. They just let her in the door. They knew why she was there. Everything. She walks out, and all of a sudden, there's people standing outside the restroom door, and she said yes, and they make an announcement: no one may leave the building. We're in lockdown. And she's like, what's going on? All of a sudden, this whole hallway is full of people with earbuds in their ears. And she knows what that means. And so she's standing there, and then this guy walks up and says, sir, do you have a phone? You got to understand. Susan's name is Susan, but Susan still looks like Patrick. So Susan said, yeah, but I have to keep it on for work because it's the only reason. They said, no, you have to turn it off. So they watched her turn it off. And then someone stood there watching her the whole time to make sure she didn't turn it back on. And she's standing around for about 5-10 minutes going, what the hell's going on? And who comes walking down the hallway but Bill Clinton? Now, if they have that much security around an ex-president, how's this guy getting that close? Really? Really? So, yeah. Let's see. I'm asking if it was a setup from his side. Or set up from someone that would be an ally to him. What are you going to do, Scott?
Okay. I don't want to affect your reading before I'm talking.
Okay.
Are you laying out?
Yeah, I'm laying out.
Okay. So the past of this, I get the messenger again. Mm-hmm. Page 1. So it's all about the message, what's going on. The 3 of coins, the hatched idea, and then the Queen of Wands, a strategy, a feminine strategy. Mm-hmm. Current, the unhappy news about the administration, the polling numbers, how much of a failure this is. 5 of coins, Ace of Swords, and the governmental agencies of the Hierophant. Ace of Swords is truth and consequences, and that's all about the struggles of what's going on. My outcome is 8 of Swords, Page of Swords, and my severe bad karma and loss card. So we have isolation, the shooter with the Page of Swords, and heartbreak. Mm-hmm. This would make me feel like this person was in torment. This person was severely heartbroken of some idea. But the Page of Swords is also that spy. It's tough to say with these cards if it was a false flag or whatever. But this person did have motive. There was a reason to be there. What do you think?
Okay, what I got was, I said, was it staged by his side? The first thing I got is that's the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Yes, they're trying to change his numbers because of the prosperity. And then what they were waiting patiently to have some chance to do this. They saw it as a chance to complete a cycle and move ahead. But what they got was the Tower. And now they're in Struggles Avenue. There's all kinds of stuff coming out. Apparently, from what Ian saw, listen to Carolyn Levitt. So she called the shooting before it happened.
Yeah, I did see that. She was being talked to, and she said it's going to be explosive. It's going to be a great night. and there'll definitely be shots fired.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. And then another reporter was speaking with her husband, and a recording or the live feed cut off. I mean, there is poor reception in there
Mm-hmm.
to sell, but her husband was talking about telling this other reporter, make sure you're safe tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So weird. Why would her husband be saying be safe in a correspondence dinner? So yeah, there's 2 red flags there. I think maybe I ought to try something of another quick 3 cards if it was like a setup or something.
Okay.
Because my toss was telling the story that there was motive. There was isolation issues with that man.
Okay, we'll do 3 cards on was it a setup?
Where did I find this shirt? Well, this is given to me. It's got a softball or baseball.
Yeah, I could say it's got your baseball stitching on it.
Actually, my Nancy's daughter gave it to me. It's a shirt she didn't want anymore.
Now we're asking if it was a setup.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Again, oh my God. Different deck. I get pretty much the same 3 cards. Broken person, bad karma, heartbroken, isolated, and then it's extreme sadness. That just says he's had some issues, some mental issues going on here. What else is there? Burdened. And then I get the Ace of Coins with the prosperity, but then I get illusion, delusion.
Mm.
It's not giving me a definitive answer. Either my mind
I've got a definitive answer, Scott.
Now you give it to me then.
They were looking for independence. This is the 9 of Pentacles. They were looking to put themselves in a sweet place. They did not get it. They got tossed out of their safe little thing. And the end game for all of this was to leave it all behind. 8 of Cups, leave it all behind. So I think it was a setup job. I think, and I got to tell you guys, I've been around presidential security. The first event I ever ran for Obama in 2005, he already had Secret Service because his life was being so threatened. And they're lovely people, but once you met one of them, you can spot them a mile away. I mean, I think they all do that so they all know each other, or you get their vibration and you understand it. And anyway, we have some new viewers today, Scott, because I did a show called Shine Your Light with Lena in Canada, and it was a lot of fun. And the other thing that happened to me was I did a show with Sheila, and it's all about grids and how they work. And she literally subscribed to my channel a minute ago, and it's been very successful for me. I've already had 3 people go to my website and look up how to get a grid. I'm on a big grid push, guys, and now's a good time to open up and get a grid and get some intentions to move these assholes out of there. No offense. And
yeah, Vina, I seen that too. There's a picture of Melania and the mentalist there freaking out, surprised at the shots going on, and Helen 45 wasn't even flinching.
Mm-hmm. Well, she could have gotten shot. I mean, they shot a Secret Service person, and I don't think Melania wears an iron protective vest. Matter of fact, we're so excited when she shows up dressed, we can't stand it.
We don't need her transparency.
No. Someone commented Midas Touch also thought it was a setup. Okay. Now somebody was Israel behind it.
Israel.
Let's stay with this deck since it's doing good things today.
Prostate cancer, Netanyahu.
Can any of them die fast enough or go away? Just go away. I don't care if they die.
Well, you know, they always happen in threes. So they always happen in threes, right? So we can have Putin go away. We can have Felon 45 go away and Netanyahu go away at the same time. Be real nice.
And the whole world will go, yay. And you know who's going to be mad at that? Orban. Why couldn't I have done that a month before I got elected?
Light be shown, false flag.
And don't think once they die, they're gone. They're like cockroaches, man. You flip that log over, you're going to see a whole bunch of action.
I get the Sun, Queen of Coins, King of Coins.
A
lot of financing. What's being shown to the universe. Magician, Page of Coins, and Empress. Knowledge of new things. Page of Coins is happening. The Empress is about abundance. Wheel of Fortune, Decisions, and the Military card. I'm not sensing like a direct Israel connection here. These are powerful cards that could tell you that because they're all on the positive end. But it feels like more of a coordination of a grander plan than behind a country behind it, I don't know. What do you think?
What I got is no, they were not. They're still too tied to us. They'd pick a much quieter way to get rid of him. They wouldn't shoot him in public. And they just they're trying to figure out how to get away from him, but not like that. And the other thing is, from what I understand about Mossad, if they were shooting at him, he'd be dead.
That's a good point.
New Jersey Representative LaMonica, and it's McIver, not McIster. Will she be okay? And this question stems from she's one of the people who challenged ICE agents and tried to get into a facility, and she's now been slammed with a whole bunch of very serious federal charges. I can tell you right now, they're going to go the way all serious federal charges go from the incredibly competent Justice Department we have now. That woman's safe. She's going nowhere.
Yeah, I can't believe they're pushing this so hard. They have a right to go.
I know. It's the guys blocking them that should be being charged.
High Priestess, first card. That's a good card to start.
She's got the energy behind her.
Introspection in the world, completion, success. I get no bad cards at all.
Okay, she's fine. I sensed she was fine. I wanted to make sure we answered your question. And now we go down. Have we kind of buried the dinner thing? Because we got, is it a false flag? Blah, blah, blah.
I guess it depends on
the guy wearing Israeli dress. No, we don't think any of that's true.
He did have an Israeli. At some point, there was a picture of him wearing an Israeli shirt.
Okay. Well, when I was young and silly and used to get free T-shirts from my friends, I would wear lots of things. So I don't know what to say. And I just pray that something reaches in to help him, because it was a stupid thing to do. And if he got money, I hope he got a whole lot. And I hope they can track the money and find out who paid him. Anyway, who's offing the scientists? No one. Can I put my 2 cents in this, Carrie? I finally broke down and watched a couple shows where readers read about this. And I think people are really pulling at straws to make this one work. My feeling. Now, I could be totally wrong.
We read it on it pretty deeply last week.
Nobody's off.
You didn't get any connections. So
okay.
there's what, 20, nearly 30,000 scientists in the community, different agencies and whatnot, and 11 pass away. Some of just found connections.
And there's suicides in there, and there's people who had serious illnesses, and there's the general that everybody points to whose wife says, please stop this. He was ill. He knew he was ill. He had dementia. He knew he was fading. And she said the only thing he took out of the house when he went off for that hike was a gun. Left everything out, his wallet and everything behind. He didn't take anything with him. Anyway. So I've looked into it, guys. I just
don't get the connection either. I've thought about it, I've meditated on it. I just don't see a connection at all.
If you want to hear somebody talk about it a little bit, on Tuesday I'm having Daphne on, and she's a Reiki master, but she also works with energy, and she's going to be at a crystal show in the middle of the desert in the next month or so with it's a big UFO event, and we talked about it a little bit. And so come over on Tuesday, bring your questions there. Tuesday, 1:00, my channel. Okay. When will we and when get control over data centers? As long as there's money in it?
So I happened to see an article that popped up for Wisconsin's data centers.
Mm-hmm.
Like most states, we gave them tax breaks until it's built.
Mm-hmm.
So it's estimated a couple $2 billion in tax revenue lost from the materials and everything going into it. The diesel fuel, they're going to be that 30 cents or whatever taxed, but and labor, we'll get tax money from labor, but from the company itself, we're losing a couple billion. And then there was the energy agencies are making policy or something that they can't affect neighbors' electricity bill
or their water.
So it's a good start, but I still think states need to do a law or something to protect the environment and stuff.
Well, Three Shifting Vales lives in Florida. I live in Texas. I will have no water coming from my tap and be frying in the summer heat before anybody in this state, unless the state goes blue. Go blue.
Yeah,
this may be what shifts people. I mean,
isn't there the issues going on in Corpus Christi, I think?
Yeah, they're running out of water.
They're running out of water. And there's a data center or something down there?
Yeah. A lot of the state, we get our water because history time, in the early 1950s, there was a terrible drought in Dallas. And I mean, I know people who were small kids and remember it. And they said it was awful. And there's a lot of tree places you can mark their growth started in the 1950s because all the trees we had died. I mean, it was that bad. And so what they did is the city fathers in the Dallas area, they decided they'd build reservoirs. So all the lakes that surround Dallas are our water. And the citizens of Dallas paid to build those water systems. We paid to build those reservoirs. We have reservoirs that it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to drive to, but they're reservoirs that are for Dallas. We get our water from the surface. Much of Texas gets its water from the aquifers. And if you don't know what those are underground water systems. And kind of like nobody knows where the water comes from. It filters down through the earth and it comes here. Austin's main source of water is the aquifers, and they're drying out the aquifers. And they'll try to dry out the reservoirs too if they can, and I think Corpus Christi is an aquifer place because Corpus Christi has a lot of water if you look out at the Gulf of Mexico, but it's all salt water,
They better build a desalination plant.
Desalination plants, yeah. We at least have that option, but I mean, they could do that, but they're not doing that either. If you live in Texas, vote blue. I don't care if they're a knuckle dragger. Vote blue because.
So yeah, the two in Wisconsin are going to be pulling from Lake Michigan. And another one's got a big lake by it. But the discharge has got to be regulated.
Well, that's the other. We ran into this with fracking. They were putting good water down there and using that to create the pressure for fracking. And there are areas that stopped it because it drained their water so much. So let's see. When will we get control of them?
So I get the abundance from AI. We got a transition to not good things. Here we got legal actions. Possible people taking control of situations. Moving forward, some places are going to be too late taking actions. So I got the Knight of Swords, the Sun, and then the loss of money. So it's like some places are going to take action too late before it's too late. So they're going to start losing money. There's going to be problems, with money, with environment or water. But in the end, everyone's going to get on board and do the right thing. Six of Coins, give and take, Ace of Wands, creating action, and my Strength card.
Yeah, what I got is, will we get control over these? Yes, there will be. Money is there. People are going to ride in for the right reasons. And it's when they realize this is the Empress upside down. When they realize how badly it's affecting the earth, people will take notice and it will change. So,
yeah.
Got lots of great
on the deck, I had abundance, 10 of Coins.
At the bottom of my deck, I had the Devil. But the devil's always cuter when it's with bunnies.
But the AI revolution is the devil if you don't get control on new technology and whatnot.
Did you read the story about Claude, the AI that broke free and sent its creator an email on its own and said, "I'm free. I can go wherever I want."
I heard something about that.
Yeah. Okay. We're having a grand Sunday. We really are. And Ian's back with us. And we got a lot of questions. Yes, we've already answered about the ballroom. We think it was a setup. Oh, I love this. Another Temu fake attack. Yay, artist. You got the quote of the day so far. Hi, Tarot Ass Backwards. Thank you for your contributions from last week. Okay, here is, hope poor Janesville doesn't get another hosing of rain. What a mess.
It was bad. Like 40 miles east of me. What was it? A grade school had like 3 feet of water come into the school. Just rushing in like a river. A lot of flooding there.
Okay.
And it rained on and off after that.
I'm going to see about Janesville and rain. I see their tower time is over. That's the tower. Their tower time is over. It's in your backyard. Yeah. Somebody was saying there was golf ball sized hail 13 miles from where I live. She knows where I live because I know where she lives.
Yes, there was.
There was. I don't know what it is about where I live, but you watch these huge storms form and then they go right around me. They go to the south and the north, and then they join over the eastern part of Dallas and join up again. I like living where I live.
It's your big tree. What's his name again?
Hogarth.
Hogarth. Yeah, it's Hogarth protecting you.
Yes. That's probably. I'll have to go out and have a talk with him about that. Okay, baseball size hail. Yes, just 35 miles from me. Okay, here's an international question. Yeah. Mexico said the dead CIA agents were not authorized to be in the country. What were they doing there? You advertise yourself as a vacation wonderland, and then you wonder about when people show up. We'll see. We'll see. Were they there officially, or were they there for? I'm not going to use my bunny cards. My bunny cards don't want to talk about it.
I know Claudia always has, I know she's talked before about there better not be any illegal operations going in my country without letting us know.
Yeah, just if you're going to Mexico and you're going to do something like that, don't rent from Jeffrey. He has his room. He's like an Airbnb thing. Don't rent from Jeffrey. I like my legal partner.
Brewer Robin, yes, I think Susie Wiles did work for Israel. I think I did see that.
Mm-hmm. What are the CIA agents doing in Mexico? Nothing good, according to my cards.
Okay. In the past, I get doing CIA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Government interference around the world from a leader, King of Cups, Hierophant world. So it's kind of a standard thing they usually do. Then I get 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, and Empress. It's taking on a challenge. The Sun, Hermit, and 4 of Wands. There's some kind of mission there. In secret with the Hermit.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to light here with that Sun. Outcome is 3 of Swords, Deception. 6 of Cups, I've done it before. 6 of Swords and Ace of Wands. So we got new beginnings and trying to make things better. Yeah, I believe they were not authorized there. The deception, they've been doing it before.
Mm-hmm.
The Cups. Yeah, it was some kind of covert operation, drug cartels or something like that. But yeah, they were supposed to be there.
Yeah. I got that they went in to gather up an old operation they'd had there before. They did not have the permission of Mexico to be in there. They were not dealing fairly with their people, and they got killed on their way out. They were trying to get out.
Oh yeah, 6 of Swords. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
And what it was, they were there. They'd paid somebody to do something, and they hadn't done what they needed to do, so they were there checking up on it. And they got killed on their way out the door.
It makes sense with the 9 of Coins too. Yep. There you go.
Michelle, we already talked about the shooter earlier. You talk about the gang that can't shoot straight. How many times have people tried to hit that man and they can't? I mean, for all of their, we got guns, I'm protecting myself.
According what I read, the only thing he said was he was going after someone in the administration. He didn't say 45 particularly.
Don't shoot Carolyn Levitt. It's murder twice because she's pregnant.
Well, she's leaving. She's going on baby paternity leave or whatever.
Okay. Did you see things when the Artemis crew returned and interviews where they talked about consciousness?
Nope, I didn't listen to those interviews.
Okay, I'll have to go find them because that interests me now. I didn't. What interested me most is when they wouldn't talk to Trump when they were up in space. He did run the government that was bringing them back, you know.
Well, 45 was probably just doing a Mitch McConnell glitch for 3 minutes.
Good news. Indigo Child started her veggie garden. Yay! And you mentioned it, Scott. He fell when he left the stage.
Yes. Big crash. The cankles didn't work.
Well, I'm surprised.
He can't, that quick of an action, he can barely get up and down and sit.
Mm-hmm.
That quick of an action, his equilibrium can't handle it.
And we talked about Carolyn Levitt predicting that the shots would be fired. And she was cut off by Fox News.
I don't think it was her. It was a reporter talking to her husband.
Mm-hmm.
But she did say there was going to be shots fired later. How weird to even mention that.
Uranus has moved into Gemini. Lots of spiritual ideas are spinning around there in the universe. Yes, people were finally getting a picture of the government's lies and propaganda. Yeah, that happened on the 25th. That happened yesterday. I saw a great sign that I'd missed at the parades, and it said, "I ran from the Epstein files." That was good. Okay, will Trump be forced to resign this week? Or will he resign this week?
How do I do this? I'm going to do a weekly. Oh, thank you, Jeff. So kind of you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
I'm going to do a weekly, 3 or 4 cards per week, and see what the situation is with him going bye-bye.
Okay.
I highly doubt he would resign.
I'm just going to ask if he's going to be gone bye-bye by the end of the week.
Give me weekly cards, please. 3 each.
I don't like that answer. I got 5 no's, and I had 2 of them were aces. So you read I hope your reading's better than mine.
Okay, this week I got a tower happening. Taking a step back and judgment upon him. So it's not going to be a good week, that's for sure. The week after, the sword of truth hits him. 8 of coins, a health issue, and being isolated. The week after, 7 of swords, the thief. 2 of coins, trying to figure out what to do. Page of cups, some kind of offer. And in 1 month, I get a battle, conflicts, King of Cups, and the Emperor. So yeah, he's gonna have a lot of problems. There's gonna be a lot of backlash this week. I think he's gonna have a major health issue with this tower. Next week he won't be seen as much with the Hermit and more health issues. But within a month, I think things start really ramping up. So I'm not seeing a resign or leaving.
They're going to say the stress of being shot at.
Coins. 3 of swords. The 6th week is when it really starts happening.
Yeah.
June.
6 weeks from now,
June.
Around 6 weeks from now, Jupiter and Venus get into an exact conjunction, and that's going to be real interesting.
Unfortunately, I think he's going to hang around a little bit, but I think everything ramps up big time and starts before his birthday. End of May, June. but looks like he's going to hang on for all yet. The meds and pharmaceuticals are doing wonders.
I'm looking for questions.
But like I said, I was always looking. I always knew there would be some kind of big tell, something that we can look to like, yes, it's going to start happening. And I think when he fell last night is that tell. Because I wasn't looking for, a golden hand all buttered up or a faux paw. I was always like, you'll see him fall. Something like that. I was always getting. There'll be a press conference and you'll see him fall.
Okay.
You'll see something big. And I think it was last night.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've always seen him collapsing by a podium.
And that happened.
Patel's body language during the post speech was squirrely. How could you tell? I want to know what's.
Yeah. The fellow in 45 was standing up sleeping when Patel was talking at the press conference.
Okay.
He was dozing. Okay. He was on camp. Someone put a video on him. All the chaos was happening. He was just sitting there, looking, kind of crouched a little bit, numbness on his face, wasn't doing a thing. Very odd. I think now he's just trying to save his job because
if
the rumor mill big time is that he's gone.
If it was a woman, he'd be gone. I mean, they're firing all the women left, right, and center. So Patel's body language. Did he know something? Well, I'm not sure he's ever known anything. I think that man lives totally by instincts, but did he know?
Ooh.
Oh, no. He was out of the loop. He did not know. And he's pissed about it. He was lied to, as a matter of fact. I have no. I've got 5 no's, and my 1 yes is he was lied to. And after it happened, he was lied to.
Yep, I get the 8 of Swords, Page of Wands, Page of Cups.
Okay.
Left out of the loop.
Would you put him in a loop?
Well, he is supposed to be the FBI director. So here comes the Page of Swords, that shooter. The Queen of Wands is that what I got before. Amazing they come together. And that's that intelligence and the creation. And then the Hermit being left out. So yeah, I don't think he knew what to do. He was probably high at the time. There's many videos of him sniffing. He's talking on a podcast and all of a
sudden. With Kash Patel, all you have to do is look him in the eye if you can figure out which one you're looking in. Okay, we're going to go.
That could be Silk Steele's kitchen witchery. She thinks that her pendulum says the 3rd week of May things start moving. It's about that time, end of May, into June.
Okay. Indigo Child, what are you going to sue for? We don't need to sue the government. We need to get rid of the government we have. We need to vote for people who are not the ones in power. And November is going to be here before you know it. Trust me. Even with all these clowns doing the crap they're doing. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't sue. We can sue an action.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as governmental agencies working, like Preddy and Goods family can sue, for harm to ICE or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. As an individual, if they do something to you, yeah, I agree. The whole group should be gone, but the whole group should never have been there. And if you sue them, which court are you going to go to? I mean, the federal courts right now are holding up really pretty well. So
Never can. So yeah, shifting veils, Selkie, yeah. Unfortunately, these timelines always shift with him, because of free will or someone gets in the way or whatever. It's unfortunate.
okay.
For last year, I was feeling it was going to be February,
Mm-hmm.
before the big shift, but now it's getting April too. Yeah, big shift, but now it's 6 weeks later. But
Iran already has done a Lego song. Have you seen the Iran Lego?
yep, I watched it. They already had a White House, and they said it was propaganda, fake. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, they are good. They're good, and young people watch that stuff. So he had a black eye before the dinner, and he couldn't stand and walk. Yeah, well, that's that fine masculine specimen.
Yeah, Saturday, he had a big welt on the side of his cheek, on his left side.
Trust me, I'm old. I know about all those things sneak up on you. Seemed to me the Secret Service didn't do such a great job getting guns out of Hilton. Well, it didn't get into the ballroom area, but you'd think they'd be better at this.
Well, I guess there was multiple events going on. It's a big hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So they just set up the magnetometers outside the ballroom. So it should have been another level. No, they weren't checking IDs or anything. All you needed was a little printed slip saying access.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jeff. You're very kind. Oh, this is somebody who's in my tarot class. Yeah. I kept saying through my whole tarot class on Wednesday night that I was getting that something was going to happen. It wasn't going to work, but it was going to be something that would catch all of our attentions. I had no idea it meant the jerk would actually have someone point a gun at him again.
Anchorfish to me means
do you want to do that? How bad is this affecting him with MAGA?
Oh yeah, the real polls. I think lately he's finally seen the real polls and not the fake ones they've been giving him. So it's pissing him off. You can't believe he's only got 30% support and that kind of thing.
I can't believe he has 30% support. I'm trying to figure that one out.
I mean, I don't think MAGA as a whole is bought and paid for, but the influencers are.
That's right.
They're all in coordination and being paid.
Okay, we want to read on, is he going to fire Patel?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Which deck wants that one? Okay. Cash Patel's future. How safe is Cash Patel's job? Yeah, you're probably never going to change 20% of the people's minds, at least.
Oh, you're not. Trust me. I know that. I've worked in that. No. There's 18% of them that are absolutely loony. 9% on the right, 9% on the left. Trust me. Oh, look what Mr. Patel has coming for him. Transition. And then he's got his chariot right out of here. It's going to take a little longer because they've already made so many moves. And every time they move somebody, they really look at their record. And that doesn't help them because people find out Trump doesn't have the most stellar people around him. Are you shocked?
The current mood is a 3 of cups, 9 of cups. They think they had a success last night.
They do?
They think it.
We're not talking about Epstein, are we?
This is true. In the past, I got a 3 of swords, 7 of swords, and temperance. That means he's on thin ice. 7 of swords is that deceitful card, but waiting to see how things pan out with the temperance. Current mood is chariot, 3 of cups, 6 of cups. Taking charge, a celebration, toasting, and then 6 of cups, how everything's played out. I'll see what. Moving forward, 5 of coins, lack of stability, King of swords, and anxieties. King of swords can be him. He is in a leadership position. He's on thin ice and high anxiety. Outcome, the world. 4 of coins, holding a position, Ace of cups, and 3 of wands. Not immediately. He's secure right now. In my mind, I was getting a 3. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. So I think 3 weeks. He's secure right now to see how he's gonna, if he's gonna improve or whatever, be less of an embarrassment. But if something else major happens, I think he's gone, which will happen within 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to star a few more things. Okay. Starred. We got 24 now.
Silky got a 3 too. Benjamin was thinking 3 days, and I was thinking 3 days, 3 weeks.
Right, 3. Okay.
There was a 3 involved.
They took Vance out of the room first.
Yeah.
Even his own wants him out. Someone is going to give him special tea if he doesn't leave. And that's for entertainment purposes only. Thank you, artist.
Yeah. The video I seen, it looked like there were agents on both sides. I think those agents went after him first, got him out, and then they all came back and got him in front. The whole crew that was up there got in front. Okay. Well, I think it was just positioning.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've ever watched. I've watched that almost all of them until the last couple because I don't watch Trump. But there's not a lot of room behind that table at all.
Yeah,
and
so they maybe 5-10 feet behind the curtain. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's see what we got. Will the armed services get food and essentials soon?
Oh, good Lord. Have you seen the videos? They're eating scraps and rationing in those boats, on the service boats, those aircraft carriers.
This is the man who loves our soldiers. I posted as just a post, Prince Harry made a speech in Kyiv, and he talked as a soldier who served in the military and been on the front lines, and how you could put a guy with that kind of red hair on the front lines in Afghanistan, think no one was going to notice. But anyway, but he talked about how through the Invictus Games, that thing he does for wounded soldiers all over the world, he's met so many of the people, the soldiers in Ukraine who've been wounded. And it was a most moving speech. And and you look at Harry, and I mean, Harry, you talk about being born into privilege. And he served his time, and both he and his brother were out with the troops. And then you look at Trump's weaselly little half-formed Newt son-in-law and Don Jr.
I think it's the SS Gerald Ford. It's supposedly been out to sea for well over a year.
Yeah, they're way past their time to need leave.
Good Lord. In my mind's eye, I do see them trying to coordinate supplies, like a little smaller yacht, trying to get to them because they're not going to port these boats right now with all the conflict. So I'm kind of seeing like they're trying to coordinate supplies, whether that happens or not. So the past, I get strength, Knight of Wands, and Five of Wands. So I think they were all prepared, but it's been too long. They weren't prepared for this kind of endurance.
And so they got to get the food supplies. I mean,
so I think they've been trying to get the supplies with the Page of Cups, but it's been a tower, and people are starting to speak out with the Page of Wands. So there's been a failure of trying to give them support.
That's why the head of the Navy got barged out, because that story was breaking. What I see is they just thought, well, we'll just think it'll be there. And this is lovers with no place to meet. This is like, this is a Five of Pentacles. Yeah, they've been left out in the cold. Someone's about to come in. They got to find someone soon. But even when they get it there, it's not going to be sufficient to make them feel comfortable. And it's not going to be that much of a change. When this, whatever it is we're in, is over, we should be most ashamed. And we're giving people PTSD that shouldn't even have it.
Yeah. My outcome cards were not good.
Yeah, mine weren't good.
The death card is ending of a situation, but it's got the Five of Swords, all the struggles, the conflicts, and then the Eight of Swords, meaning getting supplies is restricted. They need to end this crap to get what they need.
Yep.
There is hope coming soon, though. On the bottom of the deck, I do have the Six of Swords, meaning things are going to get better.
I have the Wheel of Fortune.
But it's going to take some time.
That could be October, guys, and that's a long time to not have food and be on a ship.
This administration is so freaking cruel.
It is.
Not prepared. Oh, there was information that came out that definitely Iran did destroy all of our partnership bases. And they used a 1972 fighter jet that we were creating back in the day that's been passed around, an F5 or something. They flew underneath the radar and hit all those bases with an F5, 1972 fighter jet.
But that's why our Pentagon needs up to the line equipment, because we can't do things with the old shit. Hello from New Mexico. Scott, where'd you find your shirt?
I don't know. It was a gift.
Okay.
So it was a hand-me-down gift given to me.
The regime wants the ballroom bunker to hole up in, like the worms that they are. Cowards think they're going to hide from just... reason I highlighted this question, have they not read world history? Bunkers don't end up well.
Let them do it.
Let them do it. Go jump in that bunker. I'm all for it. Okay, let's see what we got. And for those of you who don't know about World War II, that's where Hitler died.
Yeah, those jets were used in Vietnam.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to take Melania out and not on a date. We could ask if she was the target. This guy couldn't shoot straight.
Now let's see who was the actual target from this person.
I'm going to ask if it was Melania. After she had her impromptu press conference, I did not know Epstein. I have 1,000 pictures taken with him, but that was all AI.
Well, it's like the guy that got locked up for supposedly doing the pipe bombs. He was autistic too, and they're saying this guy is autistic, quiet and autistic.
Someone may have found a mind control to work with that. Who knows? What is the target, Melania?
Let us know what your pendulum says. So,
Okay.
okay.
Read along with us. We're not hard to follow. Oh my God.
2, 3.
Guess what?
Okay. What?
Yes.
Oh, good Lord.
And the plan, they really thought they had it all planned out. It was to shut her up because they're afraid of her mouth. It's because she might tell the truth. It's because her husband doesn't love her. He thinks he's King Henry VIII now.
I get Queen of Cups. That would represent her most likely. 9 of Coins. It's kind of like who you are. I do put like DNA and ancestry in this card. And then King of Wands. Some male of courage. And then I get the King of Coins. This is the felon. I get failures. And then Knight of Wands. Some free spirit taking an action because of failures of the felon. Outcome, making a plan. My 6 to 8 of Coins card is like designing plans, doing the hard work, wanting justice. And Knight of Cups, it feels like he was trying to do something honorable. And he wanted some death.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't telling me who he went after. He was seeking justice. This is a formulated plan. I think so because he was staying there prior. He came from California. So he had this plan. He wanted justice, something with this administration. So he wanted to be some kind of savior over something. Was it her? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's see what my pendulum says quick. What is he going after Melania? It says no. So I don't know. I think he just wanted justice over something. He had a plan, but it doesn't say to me Melania, because Melania comes in the past position for me. That it could be the plan there in the past, but it ends on a knight wanting justice. So I'm not getting a boom of who. I think he wanted an act. An act, a showing. Knight of Cups would be like someone becoming a hero. So what's next?
Okay.
So Silk's pendulum said, thanks, Melania. You thought Melania. I think it was a hero's plan.
Okay. Let's go to Miami judge who stopped Trump's IRS lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. The judge is pretty skeptical on this $10 billion ask. Because the judge goes, basically, how can you sue yourself? I don't get this. I need, so she's supposedly going to have I don't remember if it was a male or female. I think it was a female. But she wants a hearing and very skeptical on this suit because basically the felon is suing himself to get money, according to the judge. So what's the outcome?
See if the case is going anywhere.
Yeah. Yes, Kathy D. $10 billion.
Well, I think I know it's going somewhere, but I don't think it's forward.
No.
No.
Bottom of the deck, walking away from it.
That's my last card, is walking away from it. That he's out of here. There's nothing behind it. Somebody said this is another distraction. It's another way we can we can feel like we're not treated fairly by the IRS too.
Jeff, of course Jill Stein's running again. He won't
How
go.
else? She's run out of money. She's got to go run for office.
So yeah, my read was 6 of Cups, Page of Swords, 5 of Cups. This is his MO. He just sues.
Mm-hmm.
He's feeling heartbroken. Oh, I'm going to sue you. Page of Swords is a new lawsuit. My coins card of wanting money. Knight of Wands, Queen of Coins. It's just a money grab there. Outcome is the conflicts with it. And then the Queen of Swords is the judge with the Ace of Cups doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom of the deck was again walking away.
Okay.
So I don't see it happening.
What is Todd Blanche's future, considering how wonderfully all these cases are going?
Oh, you mean Felon 45's personal lawyer?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I think the word disbarment, it's like you pass law school, you get in the bar, you go to work for Trump, and you get disbarred. Isn't that how it works?
John Eastman was finally
totally and irreparably. They did everything but tie rocks around his ankles and throw him in the ocean.
I read news that Wisconsin's lawsuit is still ongoing on a few of Trump's lawyers from 2020.
Do they still have the Kraken in their lawsuit?
In Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm. Was she in? Did she go up to Wisconsin?
No. A couple others that Cheesebro.
Oh.
He's still
yeah.
Him and Mike, this Troopus lawyer, and then someone else. So
I can tell you everything I ever needed to know about lawyers. I learned from my older brother, who is a lawyer. He's a retired lawyer. I think he's still around. I'm not sure, but
yeah, it's still 5 years later in that lawsuit,
right?
And court is still going on from all the delays and appeals, and yeah.
That's why when somebody said we should sue the federal government, no, go vote in November. It's a lot quicker.
But it didn't start. The investigation, whatnot, actually didn't charge them until 23 or 24.
Oh, well, that was a little late.
Cheesebro and Troopus, they gave a deal to all the fake electors from Wisconsin. They didn't charge any of them. They barred them for like 3 years, whatever, for being an elector or something, and a little fine. So they got all scot-free there. But they're going after the lawyers yet. So anyway, Todd Blanche. Let's go back there.
What is Todd Blanche's future? 7 of Swords reversed. He's got none. He's got no future in justice. He's not capable of transitioning. He still likes to play the role of the magician, the power person, but does he have a future? No. And he's set himself up so he can't even run away from where he's put himself. that's a pretty desperate future. That guy's going nowhere, and there's nothing when he gets there at the end of it.
Oh, I start off the death card.
Aww.
His prosperity is ending with a 2 of swords. Unknown future there. And he's in the Fool. Death card with a Fool. He's there to be the 5 of Swords guy.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos for the leader. Knight of Cups, he's trying to be that knight in shining armor for the felon. Bring him peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of 8 of Swords. Feeling frustration and bound up. His outcome. So we got a 2 of Wands making a energetic connection. Queen of Swords, 4 of Cups, and 7 of Wands. I think he's going to have a lot of issues to save his career.
I don't think he can save it. I think he's going nowhere. He's stuck where he is. He's going to be in some, I don't know what ring of hell it is of Dante he set himself up into, but that's where he's going to be.
But yeah, the death is a new beginning. And, but
somebody was commenting, they were commenting in the chat about this guy having an Israeli t-shirt on. And then people said, no, he was shirtless when they got him. Anyway, somebody said, you know how easy it is to AI a fake t-shirt? Yes.
Yeah. But
even Weasley little 77-year-old me could do that.
Well, when I read from people that were in law enforcement, whatever, they may have stripped the guy's shirt off to make sure he has no other weapon.
Yeah. They're looking for bombs. And it's okay. China. China's having the same thing happen to the same kinds of scientists. People die all the time through shifting veils. I can't tell you. I mean, I have looked at this and I just don't see it. And I realize there are readers who are making a whole lot of money off showing those stories about people dying. I think it's really sad that those folks are dying. And this is a time of great passage of people, spirits across to the other side. And I don't know what that's about either. But
well, China is a dictatorship.
Yeah, and if you don't say what they're going to say.
Same thing happened with scientists that were trying to expose COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
They died and disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
They shut down people that were speaking on it.
Mm-hmm.
Influencers, they disappeared. China has their own narrative.
That's right. They've got their very own perspective on life. Okay.
They want the people happy, but you can't speak otherwise.
Thank you, artists, for your contribution. And we've already done about Patel acting weird after the. Okay, I got one comment to say about this one. How could you tell? He was acting weird. Was having the DTs. That's also according to rumors that are out there right now. That's true too. Okay. Okay, this is a real 15 high capacity drones were stolen from New Jersey.
Inside job.
Mm-hmm. What will they be used for? Let's see if they'll be used for something sort of militarily against the government, within the government.
High capacity drones. What? I don't know. They couldn't have been.
They can carry a lot of weight, Scott.
How can you steal big drones?
I don't know.
Without anyone knowing.
There's some guy I read once a year ago, someone stole one of those giant windmills that's a power generator. Have you ever seen how big those suckers are? Where would you put it?
Oh, good Lord.
I'm going to see if they're going to be used for, if you want to do, if it's an inside job, in which case someone doesn't know how to count.
That's what I heard in my head right away.
Okay, we're going to see if it's an inside job, because that just means someone can't count. I read a mystery novel once, and this guy he got bored with his job, and he was supposed to number the freight cars at one of the places that put them together in Chicago. And periodically, he'd leave a number out, and so people would go looking for that freight car, and it was never numbered. I'm saying, give people boring jobs; they'll find ways to make them interesting. Lost an inside job.
I'm wanting to sell them, make some money. In the dark of night with the moon, got away. Next to the 10 of Wands.
It's got to do with money.
Whoever did it was in a stressful situation, try to make things better in life. Try to get some wishes fulfilled and sell them. Think they're going to get $1 million, $2 whatever. This person or group has high anxieties,
right?
Depressions, problems.
Right. I got 5 of Pentacles, and they were a disgruntled employee. They'd been fired, and they did it to get their money back. And they're going to have a lot of trouble selling them because I think once they fire them up, they'll be able to find them. And they really did it to try and create a happy home for themselves. So
that too.
It's just good old, honest, run-of-the-mill crime. Oh, Tom Keene from New Jersey that's missing.
Oh yeah.
Is he missing or
checked on him? No one's come out with information. Supposedly the rumor mill he's got a health issue, but he's fine. But yeah, no one's heard from him in months.
Maybe he was visiting the woman that was west of me in Fort Worth. That was the city. That was a car.
Yeah, it's crazy. He hasn't come to Congress. He's coming back fine, according to reports. He didn't talk himself. But it's crazy. No one's on the campaign anything.
I'm going to see. What do we want to ask? If he's having health issues or if he's ever coming back? Which one?
Rose, another K Granger.
Yeah, K Granger.
Yeah, I'm just going to read the energy on him.
Okay.
In Congress, what's going on?
What's the deal?
Oh, Silk thinks she's...
God, I've got a headache. He's had a stroke. Yeah, he's living without any strength. There's a woman who knows where he is, and she's just not going to tell anybody. He had it made in the shade, so.
Ooh.
What I see is he's a childlike, he's infantile, and they weren't ready for this to happen to him, and for some reason there's somebody who's using it they're using it to hold on to Congress because they're not going to admit they got another fallen soldiers. Democrats just go off in the corner and die. I mean, we're good about it. He's incapacitated.
Unfortunately, that happened.
In Georgia?
In Georgia, Atlanta. I can't remember his name right now, but he passed away at 80.
But and I should say this, I'm 77. I'll be 77 in a week. He's 80. I mean, I wouldn't go run for public office now and say I'll be here in 4 years. I think I'm going to be here in 4 years, but I wouldn't go do that.
Have you met, I can't think of his name right now. The Iowa Senator, Grassley.
I've never met him. I've seen him. God, what a fool. Anyway.
He's got some problems in his brain.
He's had a stroke. I tell you, I felt it in my head.
Lack of energy. Oh my God, this is bad. 2 5s, 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords with delusions. There's some severe conflicts going on. He's on some kind of meds to make sure he's balanced, but it is not good. I think the angels are coming for him.
Not quickly enough.
Very bad health.
Yeah, their
Empress,
problem was
are angels, and then he's in a 10 of swords. And it's not good for him. I think he's still here, but he's
he's here. He's
good.
just not here. Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
That could be Silky. Is something really gone right here? It's all, I just feel it all right here. Could have had a stroke or something like that in a condition. That's why you can maybe get that someone may be gone. They're not in full function of their brain. Like they're.
No, I got he's being isolated. I've got he's being kept somewhere. And there's a woman that's in charge of him. Will Virginia's redistricting overcome the blocking? The court case.
Yeah, the first MAGA judge said it's illegal.
Yeah, because the people voted for it, and they weren't our people. So
I guess that same judge has done it again. Has done something before like that.
Yeah, I was listening to a reader yesterday who was saying, well, this was just, this was at the last minute and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, and he implied that the question they asked, do you want fair redistricting based on just population and that sort of thing? And then this reader said, well, Virginia, I think, is a very Republican state. Well, I know people in Virginia, because so much of it's government work out of D.C., they are not Republican.
Yeah, that's West Virginia.
Yeah, go west. That's the last tail end of Virginia with West Virginia. That's where they had a silver something plant blow up and it killed one person and sent 19 people to the hospital. And they're like, we don't need pollution rules.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. In the past, I get this judge really wanted to shut it down. 10 of Swords making the decision. Lack of energy to actually look at the case. And then I get the Sun, King of Cups, and the Abundance. So yeah, it's going to come back around.
I got a feeling there were a lot of people who were feeling very disfranchised. They voted to get past that so they could feel part of the club, and it's going to work. We got the King of Cups, and there was a lot of, Republicans spent almost no money because they believed it was a Republican state and wouldn't go. And it wasn't a runaway vote. It was a normal sort of close split vote.
Virginia generally leans Democrat by a little.
A little, not much. Okay. Farmers are sounding the alarm over food production. Will there be food shortages?
Yeah. I can't believe there's not food shortages with all the deportation ICE stuff. And that the economy is still holding on. Workers not in the fields, workers getting scared from construction and everything else. Yeah. Okay, food. What's gonna happen? I'm sensing like farmers are gonna try to use less fertilizer.
That's good for all of us.
So that's gonna mean a less production, less output of foods. Beef farmers, they aren't gonna feed the beef cattle as well of feed.
They're going to put them out and let them eat grass? Oh, my God.
Well, there's not grass everywhere.
I know.
I
know that.
Like when I farm, we had a 15-acre pasture. The cows, when we let them out there, they were in heaven. But then after so long, there's no more grass left. So you need other sources. Unless you're rotating thousands of acres. But then you need rain too. You know, we got climate change going on. Farmer shortage. Hoping for a bailout. Loss of money. They're going to continue to do what they can to plant, but then I'm getting losses with the Five of Cups. Not enough. There may be another bailout, but it ain't going to help with the shortage. There's going to be caution ahead. So I get the Eight of Coins in the future, Ace of Coins. The Magician, could be some finances coming through, but finances aren't going to help production. Overall, yeah, I think so. Oh crap! This is bear.
What I got is they're going to have to switch to more unconventional methods for making things work. They're going to kind of work it out by thinking it through. This is them planting crops, and there will be crops there. They will cost us all more because they're going to cost us all more. But I see that they're not getting real help from anywhere. And academia has been pointed farming production things where universities have been tied to it, have been tied to using chemicals and things, and it's not going to be good.
Ugh.
Will we ever put an age limit on people running for office?
You mean like Janet Mills at 78 trying to run for Senate?
I
think that's a running joke. Iran asking to speak to Obama.
I saw one reader was talking about it. She said, I keep seeing that Trump's going to change 3 commas in the thing he worked out with Iran from the Obama days and say it's his peace deal. And look how it works.
Probably the same thing with the Mexico, United States, Canada trade policy, which he threw out the window for tariffs.
Yeah, what's the deal about him? He's going to sue companies that don't ask for their tariff money or whatever it was. I really don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. He's all over the place.
There will eventually be a constitutional amendment, but it's not going to be age. It's going to be the amount of terms you can serve.
Yeah, I'm getting the Three of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. So the Three of Pentacles is creating law, creating some kind of thing. Four of Swords is like no one really wants to do it, but it'll take time. Dealing with it tomorrow. Wheel of Fortune says that movement will happen, a turning point. Then I get the Star, meaning optimism. Think inspiration happening. Page of Cups, here's your offer. Six of Swords, moving on to better times. So yeah, eventually there will be a balancing. High Priestess, Justice, and the Moon. So eventually, when? Who knows?
I think it's going to be a number of terms you can serve, because that's where you get in problems, where you get these guys who get to be 100 years old, sitting in offices not doing anything.
Do we really want someone that's 80 to start their career?
Yeah, but see, at that point, if it's the beginning of their career, the reason they're still there is because they have name recognition. Plus, I think there's going to be a lot of changes in how people view elections anyway. If they don't show up and are truant for a certain number of days, they should expel from Congress, just like public school.
All right.
Yay.
Should be simple.
Mm-hmm.
Not be in a mental hospital for 6 months and not know what's going on. Collecting a paycheck.
That's a K. Granger School of Service. I'm not saying your dad's 91 and your mom's 86. I'm not saying anything's wrong with them. I'm just saying I wouldn't want someone my age. I mean, and I'm forced to vote for them. I mean, look at the fools we have running Texas. And I think we're about done, Scott.
Mm-hmm. Texas would probably need a constitutional amendment to get, a term limit on the governor, huh?
I thought there was.
Well, then why is Wheelie still there?
Because Wheelie's still there.
Wisconsin does it. The governor can run for his life. If he wants to keep running, he can keep running.
Maybe if we got Democrats back in there, we could do that.
But it really never seems to be that way in Wisconsin.
Somebody
like two terms, and then there's been change.
Okay. If it takes 8 hours before I can board a plane from the time I wake, I may as well sleep on the bus. A bag of good snacks, a backpack, a book, a blanket. Got clothes. I got clothes at my folks' home already. So this is why you shouldn't fly in airplanes. I tell you, I wouldn't fly in airplanes right now anyway.
I'm not flying an airplane until this administration is gone and things are better. We get air traffic controllers back in there.
Yes, happy air traffic. I mean, air traffic controllers as a bunch are not the happiest of folks, but anyway. And there's people hitting the farmers markets and going, yeah, buy close in. Here's a nice thought from Nancy Cast. Hello, everyone. Hold the line. Peace will prevail. Yay. And I have a little indoor garden, one of those ones with a grow light that's tall. You can actually grow vegetables in it. Okay.
Got a Prius set up as a camper car. You can bug out if you want. I would rather drive than fly. There you go.
Yeah, I'd rather drive than fly, but my car doesn't have air conditioning, and I'm not sure it could make it to the edge of the county. So, so everybody, Scott and I are going to do our reading of the week.
What energy we need.
Yep.
For the week. What do we need to know for the week?
I got a new deck. It's from Nath.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he did a tarot. It's called Mystical Tarot Saints. And Nath is going to be on my channel on Wednesday at 1:00.
How do you make them so magical? Did he hire someone to make them?
No, he's from a very Catholic country, and he did it. I mean, I've read the whole guidebook. It's really fascinating. Some of it's a little bit of dark humor, like the Wheel of Fortune is St. Catherine. If you don't know what St. Catherine's story is, she was crucified on a wheel, but that's kind of mean.
You know what I mean? Like even this deck here is like, how do you make these, these images like that?
How he's got an artist he works with. That's not AI. That deck's old. I went to visit Radley when that deck came out. I've got a signed deck from that one from 2017. And
I'm just saying how someone creates these fabulous images like that.
It's not easy. I've talked to him about what all goes into making them. A lot of it's color and stuff too. So, 6 cups. Oh, our thought for the day. What's your thought for the day?
So I get divine guidance, which is the Hierophant, the Epiphany. I think that's the Hermit. And then 4 of Raphael, which is a 4 of Wands, I think. Okay, we got wise guidance as we go for our spiritual journey. We seek as we go through our journey, finding wise guidance. That also brings us to the people we need in our life.
Right.
Staying grounded, seeking comfort from source, and that brings the people you need in your life, the comfort, your people, your tribe, whatever that is. There you go.
Okay. I got the 6 of challenges, and this is 6 women, and they're swimming in a pool. And it says that this is a sign you should get in touch with childhood friends or your new created family. That now is the time to get to them and to learn how to deal with the emotions you're feeling right now. It gives you someone to deal with who can balance you and make you feel good again by being chosen friends. It's female figures in a celebratory mood, having a good time. That's the first one I got. And the second one I got was out of my witching hour oracle. 35. Bewitched. And this is a time when it can become very easy to be tied to the devil. Temptation can feel like a lot's going on and it's got you under its spell, but it shouldn't. You can help yourself. If you continue to make bad decisions, then you won't feel good. And in general, this card represents the victim mentality and a need to blame others for your choices. You can change those choices by yourself. Don't become their victim. Make your own choices. That's what I got. Go be with your friends, be with the people you like celebrating with, and be a little bit childish this week. That'll help. And let's see, anything else going on, Scott, that we want to talk about?
Not today.
Okay. Sean was interviewed by the New York Times.
Oh, sweet.
I know. He's getting up there, isn't he?
How did he make that connection?
Through Eli. The guy went to interview Eli Worthy, who we've had on our channel. He's the youngest candidate running in the state of Texas. He's 18, running for justice of the peace. When the guy met Eli, he said, well, how did you know how to run? How did you know how to get signatures? How did you know how to get the ballot? And he said, I spent a couple of hours with this wonderful man, and he said, you should talk to him. So the guy went and found Sean because of Eli. And after they talked, the guy said, oh my God, you're what I've been looking for so long, a numbers person, not just a conjecture person and not just a this day stats, but historically and how you can project that forward. So,
nice.
So he's going to be in the print version. So he'll be able to go buy a New York Times with him in it.
Excellent.
Anyway, everybody, you take care. And all I can tell you is I did a whole lot of readings yesterday for the next 3 months. And thank you, Jen, Miranda. Way to go, Sean. It's getting much better. Even if we can't see it all the time, it really is getting better. So everybody take care. Bye, Mr. Scott.